3, 2, 1.
Good morning, listeners. This is Michelle Tiemeyer with Blackhawk County Extension Outreach, bringing you information for everyday living. We're glad that you chose to join us today on our program. As you know, we're here monthly to talk about programs here in Blackhawk County and the impact that we're making in our community right here. So today we have another great program, as we always do, and I feel like such a youngster among this group here today. We have 3 summer assistants that are helping us out in the Extension office this year, and we're going to be talking to each of them about the role that they're playing in our Extension office. So we're glad that they're all here, and we will introduce them very shortly. But first of all, I just wanted to bring you our normal announcements that we talk about at the beginning of our show. One being our Master Gardener classes. Many of you, I know, are getting out in that dirt. Finally, the weather has cooperated. You've had a chance to get out there, and things are actually growing. And it's been a great few weeks, except for those gnats and bugs and mosquitoes. But other than that, it's been great gardening weather. But did want to let you know that our Master Gardening classes for the fall will be beginning here shortly. And the reason we bring that to your attention is normally Iowa State offers our Master Gardening program 2 times per year. This year, however, Iowa State will just be offering it in the fall and not in the spring of 2015. So for many, many years it has been offered twice. This year it'll just be in the fall. So our registration deadline for that is September 2nd, which is going to be here quicker than we know. So if you've thought about taking Master Gardener classes in the past, we urge you to contact the Blackhawk County Extension office and register. The actual classes themselves start on September 16th, which is a Tuesday, and these are Adobe feeds, which means you will be commuting directly over technology, a computer, a large screen in a classroom with Iowa State Extension specialists there. So we meet at George Washington Carver for each of the Tuesday classes beginning on September 16th, as I mentioned, and they go through November 25th. So it is a pretty big commitment on the part of Master Gardeners if you're interested in taking that class. There are also a couple off-site classes as well. The group plans a trip to Iowa State to take a look at the campus there and some of the things that are happening at Iowa State. So it's really a fun opportunity. Not only do you learn a lot about soil types, plant pathologies, landscaping and such, you also learn, you also get to know a whole bunch of people that enjoy and appreciate the same kinds of things that you do. And then, of course, our Master Gardeners, we ask all of them to do an additional 40 hours of volunteer service somewhere here in Blackhawk County related to the Master Gardening classes. And we will keep you advised of those opportunities. But I want to say, I know we've got several hundred very active Master Gardeners in Blackhawk County doing amazing work. So I urge you all to become a part of that. So anyway, one of the announcements that we wanted to make today, and also we have some summer programs we're going to be talking about, some gardening programs, the Blackhawk County Fair. And to talk a little bit more specifically about that, we have our guests here today. And I'd like to introduce and welcome each of them to the show. First of all, I'd like to say hello to Grace Rathert.
Hello.
Good morning, Grace. We're glad that you could be here. Also joined by Katie Samuelson. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, Michelle.
Katie has been on this show before because she was our Blackhawk County Fair intern last year during the 2013 summer. So we're glad that Katie chose to come back and be with us another year. So thank you for that. And then lastly, but not least, is that a word? is Ellen. So Ellen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's kind of just start out. We're going to be real general in our thoughts as we talk to each of our summer assistants. Just want to hear from each of them about just a brief overview of how they got to this area, what their background is, what your education is. So Grace, if you could just kind of start out for us with some of those background facts and give our audience that information, that would be great.
Sure. Well, I grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I moved to Columbia, Missouri when I was 15 with my family, and that's also where I went to college. I got my bachelor's in environmental science, mostly studying soil and water quality related to agriculture, and then I went on to get my master's in public health, specializing in food security and health promotion. And I feel that gardening, it kind of combines all of those experiences in environmental health and human health. So I decided that I wanted to become more involved in that area. And so I've been looking in the Cedar Valley mostly because My boyfriend, who I met in college, lives and works here, and he's been working here 2 years and really enjoys it. So I thought that this would be a great opportunity to find out more about gardening and local food systems in the Midwest.
Well, we certainly love to hear the fact that bringing young people back to the Cedar Valley, that's certainly something we enjoy being able to do. I'm glad that you're enjoying your time here. We'll talk, Grace, a little bit more about some of the things that you're doing in the gardening, but we welcome you, or the gardening area that's here, but we welcome you here.
Thank you.
Katie, tell us a little bit about yourself and the fact you're here for another year. That's great.
Okay, well, I grew up in LaPorte City, Iowa, so I'm originally from Black Hawk County. And after graduating from Union High School in 2011, I went to Iowa State, and I will be a senior there this fall in animal science. So I was an 8-year 4-H member of Black Hawk County and really enjoyed my job last summer and came back again this summer.
Great. So animal science at Iowa State, you probably had some great experiences there.
Yes, I have.
You've worked in the lab there?
I worked in a ruminant nutrition lab in the animal science department for just over a year, and I'm actually working in the College of Vet Med diagnostic laboratory right now, working with some samples that we get in and the different bacteria that are found there.
So that proves to be, I can't even say those words or repeat them enough to know what all that is, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting to compare to my work in animal science in the past and the livestock I've had to see how certain environments can affect that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we certainly welcome you back to Black Hawk County. I'm glad that you're spending the summer with us.
All right,
Thanks, Katie. And Ellen, tell us a little bit about Ellen.
All right, well, I grew up in eastern Iowa in Jackson County, and I was also an 8-year member of 4-H and grew a lot from that. And I worked in Jackson County at the extension office there, did some summer programming, and loved it. And while I was in school at UNI, I fell in love with the Cedar Valley, so I decided to stick around here and try out this extension office. And I went to school for communication sciences and disorders. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got my master's in speech pathology, and I have my internship this fall, and I'll be graduating with that in December.
Great. So it sounds like you're coming to the end nearly of your educational career, at least for this part.
Yes, yes I am. I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's good. We all like to see that, that's for sure.
Yes.
You mentioned a little bit about 4-H. We've talked about 4-H a lot on this program. Tell us a little bit about your experiences there.
With 4-H, I did cattle. I showed a lot of Angus. My dad is a through and through black Angus man, and my godfather is a through and through red Angus man. So I ended up getting a little red Angus herd in the middle of his black Angus. And, but then I also did communications. I did working exhibits, which really helps young people learn how to work with other people and explain and teach people things. And then I did musical exhibits with the piano, with the trumpet, and it was just a lot of growing experiences, setting goals for yourself and making sure that you reach those goals, and getting to show off your projects at fair was a lot of fun too.
Sure. And Katie, maybe when we get a chance to talk about the Black Hawk County Fair that's coming up in July, you can emphasize for our audience some of the values that you see for our young 4-Hers, and that's something that we want to make sure our audience knows, that 4-H is for all kids, and certainly we reach kids in a lot of different ways, the traditional club method, but also some of the outreach programs that Grace and Ellen have been doing this summer is also a chance to engage in some of that really good youth development programs. So thank you for sharing that. I share a 4-H background too, a little bit different than yours, but certainly I think the qualities are all there in the 4-H program that you've mentioned. So Grace, let's get back to you a little bit. Grace is our gardening intern. I have trouble with names, as you guys all know. So Grace and gardening really works well for me. I remember that really well. So Grace, tell us a little bit about what you're doing this summer.
Well, this summer I'm working in school and community gardens, just maintaining them with weeding and watering, and also leading educational classes surrounding garden-based education and food-based education. So a couple of my programs, I work at the Jesse Cosby Center, and we're doing kind of a community garden there, working with adults and people and their families to start community garden plots and maintain them over the summer. I am also working with Cedar Valley Preschool and Child Care Center doing nutrition education and preparing healthy snacks with the kids. In a couple of weeks, I will be leading some programs at First Baptist Church. They have a summer program going on there, so I will be leading a few sessions about garden education. And I'm also supporting West High and Pointer Elementary in their school gardens.
So you've got a lot of school gardens, it sounds like there.
Yes.
Kittrell, are you involved with Kittrell as well?
A little bit. I haven't taken a leading role, but I've
Okay.
been supporting some of the efforts that have been going on there.
Okay. You mentioned the Jesse Cosby Neighborhood Garden, and we know, and our audience knows that that garden's been there for 11 or 12 years now. And so tell us a little bit about what you're doing as far as teaming up with the nutrition folks to provide that programming this summer.
Yes, well, we basically have a 2-hour-long class, and the first hour and a half is dedicated to nutrition. So we're teaching families how to prepare healthy meals, and then we have a garden class, so they get to work on their plots that they established a couple weeks ago, or some people are still joining the class, and they're welcome. We still have a few plots available, so if you want to come out and plant your own garden, then I can help you with that in the evenings as well.
So Grace, if we do have someone that'd be interested in a garden plot, do they call you? Do they just show up at the garden? How does that work?
Generally, it would be best if you called or emailed me. My contact information is on the Blackhawk County website. My email address is rathert, RATHERT, @iastate.edu.
Great. And also, just for those that might want to call Grace Rathert in our office and reserve your garden spot at the Jesse Cosby Neighborhood Garden, the number there is 234-6811. And we would remind our callers that if you have any questions about any of the program items that we're talking about related to the Blackhawk County Extension Office, to give us a call at that number. We certainly can help you out with that. So, yes, it's not too late to sign up. You still can plant your garden. It's not too late in the season. So there are some spots available.
Yes, there are.
Great, and I think the great thing about that garden is not only are you being supported by people that really know what's going on, you also have access to water there, which is such a huge thing as well. Have you had to do much watering yet this year?
A little bit, yeah. Fortunately, it's been cool and a little bit rainy the past couple of weeks, but I've heard that by August time you have to
Yes.
garden a lot, because that soil is also pretty sandy. So.
Right. Great soil now, but it's got to be kept wet.
Yes.
What about the buckets I see around the outside? Will those be used in any way?
We have no plans for those at the moment, but we definitely have the opportunity to do something with those if you're interested. We are looking into doing some kind of children's program in the summer involving the bucket gardens, so we may use them for that, but there are no plans right now.
Okay.
So.
And Katie might tell us about the challenge that we have in the Blackhawk County Fair utilizing bucket gardens. So maybe if anybody's interested, they can come to the garden in the evenings. What time do your programs generally start?
5 to 7 generally.
Okay, Tuesday
And Wednesday.
and Wednesday. So Tuesday or Wednesday night, 5 to 7 o'clock, stop by the Jesse Cosby Garden. You're certainly welcome to stake out your plot there. Might have a few seeds and such for you to get started.
Yeah, I have a few seeds and a few plant starts too.
Okay. So come garden in the big garden, as we say, or if you want to use the bucket gardens, that would be fine too. Well, certainly your work outreach in the community in those gardens has really made a big difference to a lot of people. So Pointer Elementary out in Evansdale is another location you're doing some programming as well, mostly youth.
Yes, and it's not so much programming, but I'm going to be supporting their garden maintenance over the
Okay.
summer. We're looking into building some trellis systems, and they're having a gardening club that's going to be coming every week. And the teachers are mostly involved in leading that, but I will be around to support them.
They have a very nice garden there, as well as West High. So I know you've been working with the special needs class there as well.
Yes, and the horticulture class.
Okay. A lot of opportunities. Our schools have really opened themselves up, and a lot of them have school gardens. So for Extension to be able to support that work, support teachers and families, whether that's actual practical gardening or nutrition is really a great way for us to support our community being healthy. So thank you for that, Grace. It sounds like a fun job. So, Katie, tell us a little bit about the upcoming Blackhawk County Fair, when it is and what we can expect.
Okay, this year's Blackhawk County Fair is July 22nd through the 26th at the National Cattle Congress grounds in Waterloo. We have the usual livestock shows and other exhibits that are there like every year, but we're trying to get more public sort of events. I know we have a blood drive from 10 to 2 on Friday the 25th, as well as a commodity carnival coming in Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from noon to about 4 o'clock. In addition, we're having a couple challenge classes that are open to not only 4-H'ers, but everyone in the county. They range from decorated cookie challenges to bucket and dish gardens, and then we also have a commodities challenge to promote beef, dairy, lamb, and pork products.
So a lot of fun things for people to want to do, and I did hear in there that you said it doesn't have to necessarily be for 4-H'ers.
That's true. Our challenge classes are open to everyone this year. If you're interested in doing them, the Blackhawk County Extension Office has more information.
And I believe also there might be a flyer on the website as well that talks a little bit about the challenges as well. So Bucket Garden, which Grace, those good buckets over there at Jesse Cosby. I might want to try your hand at the cookie challenge, cookie decorating challenge.
Yeah, we have a decorated cookie challenge this year. You can use any type of homemade or purchased cookie to decorate. You just need to remember to bring in at least 4 cookies and then a recipe card with the ingredients.
Okay. And so we've had some pretty fancy looking cookies. So start practicing, everybody. If you have a hand at liking to decorate cookies, doesn't include cake, just cookies, right?
It's just cookies this year.
Just cookies, okay. So that would be kind of a fun one. The photography challenge is another one.
Yep, our photography challenge theme is actually down on the farm in Blackhawk County. So any farm-related object can be the center of your photo, and you can use people in the photo. They do not have to be from Blackhawk County, but we're encouraging any combination of farm animals, tractors or combines, a barn or a farmer, and creativity, of course.
I was talking to a lady that came in our office last week, and she's working with her neighbors, her young neighbors, and they're going to do the photography challenge. They're going to do a video.
Oh.
And so I don't know, that'll be a little bit different slant, but certainly will be a great way to tell the story as well. So the challenge class, there's not a fee to enter those.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I believe those are free, so if anybody has a hankering to get involved, those need to be brought to the Cattle Congress grounds on July 22nd, I believe?
Tuesday, July 22nd from 12:30 to 5:30.
Okay, so they'll be judged after that point,
Yes,
and participation ribbons will be given, so join the fun. It's a kind of a great way to engage in the community and do something fun. We forgot to mention the duct tape challenge.
Yes, we have a duct tape challenge that's going to be judged on creativity, workmanship, appearance, and difficulty.
Okay. I must talk to a lot of people, but I talked to another lady that said that she was, her daughter was going to be doing like a one strap dress, and that on the side with blouson that looked like flowers using different colors of duct tape. So can't imagine what that's going to look like. So a lot of neat ways. I can't imagine what's going to cost either duct tape to buy all that. So challenge class, certainly 4-H. The Blackhawk County Fair is a culmination of what kids are learning throughout the year and an opportunity to display their product, but also tell us, Katie, a little bit about opportunities maybe even to get involved in communications, doing those kinds of things beyond just the display kind of thing.
Okay. For 4-H members, we actually have a variety of communication events ranging from educational presentations and extemporaneous speaking to working exhibits to help them develop communication skills, as well as with the working exhibits, they're teaching other 4-H members how to complete a project that they developed.
So a typical project might be that someone would demonstrate, a 4-H'er might demonstrate how to.
I think we've had a variety from book marks to one year I think we had something with slime involved. And one year somebody made a garden out of a CD case.
Okay.
And filled that with some seeds.
So it's
any
really
variety.
Very creative kinds of things.
Yeah.
Right. When I was in 4-H, and talking way back when, my sister and I did a team demonstration on how to properly make a bed. you know, which there is a way to do that. Shining shoes, which nobody does anymore. So there's great ways, great things that kids can learn, and being able to demonstrate that to a judge, and those are judged and ribbons are awarded.
That's true.
And to do any of that, you do need to be a 4-H'er.
That's true, you do need to be a 4-H'er. So if you would like more information on joining 4-H, you can contact the Extension Office at 234-6811.
Right, and that's something I think we want to make sure and let folks know that come out to the fair. It's free to get in. There's no admission charge. But if you've had an inkle that you would like, you know, your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, nephews, neighbors to join 4-H, coming out to the fair and experiencing and seeing what kids do, both the livestock division and the non-livestock division, I think there are some, you can practice your talents or your passions in many different ways. And so we try and appeal to a large audience, those that like to write, those that like to exhibit, those that like to express, those that like to sing, as you mentioned, Ellen, or play instruments. There's opportunities, all different ways for kids to express their talents and desires. So Blackhawk County 4-H Fair, July 22nd to the 26th. Free admission, come out to Cattle Congress. And probably many people, when they come to the Blackhawk County Fair, might be just a bit confused when they come out there, because usually when you go to Cattle Congress, you see the midway right there, and the cotton candy, and all the good food, or bad food, whatever you might want to call it. But that's not part of the Blackhawk County Fair. It truly is an educational fair. So when you come out there, be prepared to see chicks hatch, for instance. We're going to have some chick hatching as well, and just really taking it all in at all the events that Katie mentioned. So check out our website. We do have a complete fair schedule at the Blackhawk County Extension website. So thank you, Katie. And Ellen, we don't want to exhaust all of our time before we get a chance to talk about some of the summer camps that you're doing this summer.
Yeah, this summer I am the STEM programming assistant. And for those of you who don't know, STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics.
Right.
So a lot of the programs that I'm doing is reaching out to kids and getting them involved in those areas. I'm doing a library tour, and the name of that is Curious Science Detectives. Each week we'll be exploring something new, whether it's science of floating and sinking, science of weather. They get to try their hand at being architects and engineers, building bridges or towers, and then the ever popular kitchen chemistry. We're going to blow up some pop and make some slimy slime, and we might even make some surprise paint chalk that makes art explode.
Pink, what did you say?
Surprise paint chalk?
Paint chalk, okay.
Yes.
All right.
So lots of different experiences for kids there. We'll be at LaPorte Libraries on Tuesday from 1 to 2 for kindergarten and first grade, and 2:30 to 3:30 for second and third graders. And then I will be at the Hudson Library from 6:30 to 7:30 for general elementary students. And I will be at the Dunkerton Library on Wednesdays from 1 to 2 for general elementary as well.
Great.
And then I also have some fun day camps this summer in June. Fundamental Science for kindergarten and first graders, where we will be exploring what it says, Fundamental Science. Those dates are June 12th at Allen College, June 13th at Elk Run Heights, and June 26th at the Arboretum. And then we also have Space Explorers, where the kids will get to learn about space and stars and all of that fun stuff. And that is for second and third graders. And those dates are June 19th at Elk Run Heights City Hall, June 20th at Allen College, and that one still has some openings. So if you have a second or third grader that's interested in learning about science and space, and we will be doing a few experiments with rockets, have them sign up at the Extension office for June 20th. And our last day for the Space Explorers is at the Arboretum on June 23rd.
So 6 days of day camp
That's right.
throughout Blackhawk County. This year we've kind of spread our wings a bit and heading out to Elkhorn Heights City Hall to catch that segment of our community, and then also to Allen College, which is a great venue for us to be able to also provide programming, and then the ever-popular Cedar Valley Arboretum area. So we've been at the Arboretum for some time, so we're glad that folks have welcomed us into their facilities and to provide the programming.
Yes, the kids will hopefully really enjoy it.
Right. So when you say day camp, give me the times of day.
The day camp goes from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. and check-in will probably be from like 8:50 to 9, and then
Sure.
fun all day long.
And transportation, unfortunately, is not provided
Correct.
to those locations.
Correct. And then we also ask that children bring a sack lunch, and there will be beverages and snacks provided.
Great. And the cost to attend a one-day camp is
$8.
$8.
And then the library tour ones are free cost.
The ones at the public library.
Yes.
Right. That's been great for us to be able to provide those, again, in our public library spaces. And they're great places for people to meet and read and to learn. So we're glad to be able to extend those learning opportunities beyond what we've been able to do in the past with this crew of young summer assistants. So we really appreciate everything that you're doing there as well, Ellen.
Well, thank you.
So I told them all that I would ask them, and if they care to answer this question, maybe something that they have learned. They've only been here a couple weeks. Katie obviously has been here, has lived in this community, but maybe for Ellen and Grace, you're both new to the area. What kinds of things are you seeing or hearing that you enjoy about Cedar Valley?
Well, as a visitor to Waterloo for the past couple of years, I never really noticed how many bike paths there were, because in Columbia, Missouri, which is where I lived previously, we have a lot of bike lanes, so it's really obvious where like bikers can be. So I didn't really think that Cedar Valley had a good cycling system, but it's been really great living here and finding all of the bike trails around. So I think that's one of my highlights living
Your
here.
ahas there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and my Waterloo Days Festival is coming up this weekend, so that's always provides another great opportunity to experience diversity as well. So, anything, Ellen? You've been at UNI, so you've been a little bit more acclimated to the community.
Yeah, one thing that I found just recently are all the great museums around in the Cedar Valley. The Art Museum for Kids and the Grout Museum. There's a lot of great opportunities to explore and learn more about science and art there. And that's one thing that I've found this summer that I enjoyed doing.
No, that's great. I like to hear that as well. I know that sometimes when we live right here in our own community, you kind of forget the amenities that are here. And until you move away, then come back, you're going, oh, that's right, this is a pretty good place to be. So appreciate the thoughts that you have given us. And Katie, you come back to the Cedar Valley every summer, and you've lived here for a long time, so I'm sure you have experienced many of the great things that these girls have also talked about.
That's true, I have. I guess the biggest thing for me would be the incredible diversity of 4-H'ers we actually have. We have them from small towns as well as from Waterloo and ranging in all kinds of projects.
Great, and that's really a great thing to say as well, as our 4-H clubs are diverse. We also have 4-H clubs that meet episodically. We've got 4 Lego League teams. They're not year-round clubs like many of our traditional clubs. So if you have a group of kids that are interested in a particular project area, we can form a 4-H club around that particular need. Garden club, for instance. If we can do all kinds of things all year long, even if you can't be outside in the soil. So knowing that we can do that and can address the many needs of our youth, we know that we can do that through 4-H. So we might remind our listeners today that if you have any questions about anything you've heard about today on our radio show, please give us a call at the Blackhawk County Extension Office. I'll give you that number one more time, 234-6811. And we would urge you to go to our website, sign up for some of the camps that are happening that Ellen has been talking about, attend the Blackhawk County Fair, as Katie mentioned, and Grace talking about the Jesse Cosby Neighborhood Garden. There are still slots there as well. So again, thank you listeners for listening today, and we will bring you our program next time when Blackhawk County Extension brings you information for everyday living. Until then, thank you and goodbye.